Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal. And hello to all of you who are now tuning in. It has been a long time since I've made one of these kind of videos, like a video where I just sit here and give you all of my thoughts, because let's face it, that's the only reason anyone watches this channel, right, is just for my thoughts. And I want to say the last time I did one of those, I want to say I'd already come back from Utah. We are back in Arkansas now, so that's always fun. We're playing this wonderful game of Power Wash Simulator because we have nothing better to do with our life, right? We have nothing better than to pretend we're at work. And with having nothing better to do, yep, here we go. I recently watched the well, what do you call it? It's the debate, the not the presidential debate, but the vice presidential debate on, and this is being recorded like the day of that debate here in 2024. I don't know what day it is. I don't care what day it is. Sue me, bite me extra hard, and like draw blood. I don't care. But I digress. It occurred to me because, like, right after that debate, I went and thought, you know what, I'm gonna watch a video that, like a video from one of these YouTube creators that I really enjoy watching. And he had this video out on this lady who had unfortunately decided to commit suicide on her career. Not like she didn't actually cheese herself, but what she did, she made a video where she was like, I saw this hurricane hit Tennessee, and I'm just so glad. All I see is a bunch of racists dead. And it's like, you really have nothing better to do with your life than to pretend that everyone and their dog is racist. You have nothing better to do with your life than to sit here and be happy that people have lost their lives. That's not good. Like, that is what we call bad. It's what we in the business call a bad, okay? That's bad. Being a turd monkey is bad, okay? And that's exactly what she was doing. She was being hateful. I'll put it bluntly like that. She was being extremely hateful. I remember in high school, when I was in high school anyway, this was back in like 2017, 2018, this term came out, reverse racism. And at the time, I was young, I was naive, I wasn't very smart, and I'm still not super smart, but I was like, oh yeah, reverse racism, that makes sense, hurt to hurt, because you gotta have the institutionalized power. But no, if you're a little turd burglar, it doesn't matter what race you are, you're a jerk. Like, if you're going to be racist to anyone for any reason, you have a problem, and you are the problem. Like, and I'm not saying that in the sense of, like, you're all the problem because of XYZ, you're all a bunch of whatevers, therefore, no. I'm talking about the people that'll sit there and will tell you that, oh, every Jew is the problem. No, that's not even remotely true. We don't believe that people are the problem. I don't believe that Jews are the problem. I don't believe that the Muslims are the problem. I don't think that black people or Hispanic people are the problem. Mindsets can be a problem, absolutely. Ideas can be a problem, absolutely. But this idea that you are a problem because you are a person, no, absolutely not. Make it make sense to me why in the world we should be telling small children, oh, you're white, you must be a racist, and you're responsible for little Timmy's ancestors being enslaved, little Timmy, little Tyrell's ancestors being imprisoned, being enslaved. Like, no, that's not even remotely true. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to acknowledge history, because we most certainly do. We most certainly need to acknowledge the fact that, yes, At one point in time, slavery was legal in this country, in the United States anyway, and that's not okay. That's obviously horribly wrong. We don't do that anymore because it is wrong. That's not saying that, oh well, we got rid of it, therefore we can just ignore it. That's not at all what that's saying. Excuse me. What that is saying is that yes, this happened. We recognize this is how it happened. This is why it happened. This is how it was permitted to happen. And this is how it affected the people of the time. Now we know how this happens, why this happens, at least from an American perspective. Let's not make the same mistake twice. It's like dealing with 1930s Germany. We recognize that some bad things happened, like some really bad things happened. That doesn't make the German people bad. That doesn't mean that we need to sit here and ban people from discussing what happened in 1930s Germany. No, that means that we sit here and we recognize this is how it happened. This is how Mustache Man came into power. This is how he managed to turn the countrymen against this particular group of people. And we make sure that we try to avoid that from happening again. Now, that's not saying that we jump to conclusions and say, well, look, this person is obviously going to do this thing because of a couple of policies that look like that. For example, money, economics. Economic policies are not inherently racist or inherently whatever. They're economic. They deal with money. Now, can some economic policies be absolutely stupid? Yes. Yes, they can. The idea that, oh, we're in debt, well, we're just going to spend more money and that'll get us out of debt. No, that is an idiot idea. Like, there is not one single person, I think, in this audience who would say, oh, look, I've maxed out my credit card. I need to go spend $5,000 right now because I've maxed out my credit card. No, of course not. That's stupid. And you know that's stupid. I know that's stupid. So what do? We make a plan. We put that plan together. And just because one particular person, in this case Mustache Man, did some really horrible things, we recognize that his economic plan was a plan that got Germany out of the Great Depression before any other country on the planet. That's not endorsing the rest of what he did. That's not saying that he was a good person. That's not saying that he was a bad person. That is simply saying that he was an economist that knew what he was doing economically. So we take the good from the horrible things that people have done, and we get rid of the bad. Oh, but you don't understand. If one thing bad, all thing bad. If one thing bad, all thing bad. Okay. There are certain parts of animals that you don't eat. You typically don't eat their bones, and so we got to throw out the whole animal because you can't eat their bones. Well, that's why you should become vegan. There are certain parts of plants we don't eat either. For example, poke salad. You don't eat the berries on poke salad typically. What you eat is the leaf. So gotta get rid of that. All these potheads out here. Oh man, you gotta pick out the seeds and stems, and you only smoke the flower. And okay, well, if one part of this bad, then all of it must be bad. Following that mentality, get rid of all your pot. Well, no, we can't do that. Can't do that. And it's like, and I'm not saying this to be like the what's that guy's name, Destiny, where he's like, oh, we have to be logically consistent all the time. No, I'm not trying to be that. What I am saying is that you need to look at your argument logically. This particular woman who is sitting here, all these people in Tennessee are racists, and that's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. Like, to sit there and celebrate people dying is evil, is flat out evil. To celebrate the death of any individual is evil. Now, we can celebrate that a person's reign has ended. You know, we can celebrate, for example, we can sit here and say, well, praise God that the Second World War is over. Praise God that these atrocities are no longer being enacted. But we cannot sit here and say, oh, I'm so glad that Mustache Man is dead. And there are people who will say, are you trying to say that we should be saying that Mustache Man is a good man? I'm trying not to say his name. I don't want this to get clipped out. But are you saying we shouldn't we shouldn't be happy that Mustache Man is dead? Yes. To be happy for the death of any person inherently leads to, well, that is dehumanization. Let me start with that. That is dehumanization, which is exactly what the Mustache Man did. Like, that is what he did to the little hat people, to the Jewish people. Is he dehumanized them. And so if these people aren't human, well, we can do whatever we want to them, right? And that's basically the logic that gets presented. We can't do that to people who disagree with us or people who do things that we don't agree with, because that puts us being basically the exact same as those people. We can be glad that they're no longer able to do the things that they were doing. For example, we can be very happy that, Miss So-and-so finally quit smoking. Ha ha ha. Common joke at funerals, right? And we can be glad that, okay, that's good that she's not smoking anymore. And I'm glad that she's no longer smoking. I'm glad that her pain has ended. You have cancer patients who are in extreme pain and then they pass. Glad that person is no longer experiencing physical pain. Absolutely. Not glad that they're dead. And I hope that makes sense. I hope that this doesn't come off as just me rambling and saying a bunch of crap for the sake of saying it, but more so as a look into yourself. I want you to look into yourself and think, is it really okay that I'm happy for this thing, that I'm happy that this person is dead, or that I'm glad that XYZ thing has happened? Because obviously being glad that a tornado has taken out a whole bunch of people is not okay. That's not good. That's not who we as people need to be. We don't need to be glad for the death of people. And that's not even that's not necessarily a religious argument or a gendered argument. That's a people argument. We should not be glad that other people have died. We can be glad that their reign has ended. We can be glad that they are no longer able to do horrible things that they were doing. We're glad that abusers aren't able to abuse anymore when they do pass. But we should not be glad, rather, that they are dead. I hope that makes sense. I hope it makes sense that we shouldn't be stereotyping an entire state just because they have banjos and donkeys. I hope to make more videos in the future. I'm still trying to adjust to my current situation. I had a lot of personal stuff going on medically and otherwise, but I have really been missing doing this. So I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. It's like 11 when I'm recording this. Have a good evening, have a good day, have a good morning, have a good. Be good. And as always, until next time, goodbye and good luck.